The Joe Rogan Experience.
Unless they get rid of mosquitoes, there will always be, and I think that is a possibility.
That's something they've talked about doing, is engineering some new kind of mosquito that like doesn't breed, or some mosquito that kills other mosquitoes, or something along those lines. They've had a couple of different things that they've tried to figure out how to do. But the problem is once you do that, you let that cat out of the bag.
I know.
You kill all the mosquitoes, then you find out the mosquitoes were the glue that holds the whole thing together.
Yeah, the lizards were eating the mosquitoes, and the cats were eating the lizards, and
who knows what kind of shit could go down if you got rid of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
But they do carry a lot of disgusting things. Their dirty blood.
Yeah.
Their dirty saliva. They'd sting you and give you a malaria disease. Ew.
Dude, people were worried. Remember when AIDS first came out? People were worried that mosquitoes were going to pass it around.
Oh, yeah, definitely. People are like, what? They carry malaria? Why the fuck can't they carry that?
Well, that's the thing about all these pandemics is like, coronavirus is actually kind of a pussy. I mean, it's easy to kill. There's other viruses which are much tougher, but it has a very thin membrane. It's a fatty membrane that goes over it.
Yeah.
And, foam from soap.
Yeah.
By the way, make sure when you wash your hands, get a lot of foam going. That's actually the thing that kills the corona.
Really?
Yeah.
Foam.
Yeah. Foam it up. And get your thumbs, for God's sake. Don't forget your goddamn thumbs.
It's a new strain of coronavirus not previously seen in humans. For other strains of coronavirus are very common and usually only cause mild symptoms like the common cold. Yeah. Yeah. What were we just talking about? We're talking about washing hands.
Malaria.
Coronavirus.
Corona. That it's a pussy.
Oh,
it's kind of easy to
that's
kill.
What it is. That's what it was. Because there was this other thing that I talked about with Osterholm that scared me way more than that. That's, it's scary for sure. Don't get me wrong. But there's this chronic wasting disease that they found in deer, and it's 100% fatal, and it's a prion disease, the same kind of disease as mad cow disease was, and the same as mad cow disease made the jump to humans. Then it became very dangerous, and some people to this day, like, they can't give blood because they were alive eating cheeseburgers during the mad cow days. Maybe they've released that. I don't know. But for a long time, they couldn't give blood because the idea would be that you still have these prions in your system. They took these surgical instruments that they used on patients who died of mad cow disease, and they ran these surgical instruments through these sanitization machines. The sanitizing process 3 times. 3 times, like 1,000-degree temperature, couldn't kill it. Wow. 3 times, still had living prions on the surgical equipment.
Damn.
Yeah.
And all we got to do is soap it up, sing happy birthday twice.
Yeah, this
Done.
is nothing in comparison to something that could happen to us if chronic wasting disease ever made the leap from deer to human.
Shit.
Yeah, it's very spooky. And I had my friend Doug Duran and Brian, what's his name again? Richards. Don't guess. Richards? I think you're right. Who's a biologist, who's explained, and a wildlife expert, explained all of it to us, like what it is, how it's happened, how it's spread. It's spreading from deer, and the end is horrific. We watched a video of one of them where they're wasting away and they're spitting. So this fluid that's coming out of their body is contaminated, and then a deer will come along and eat the leaves that have that prion on it and take it in, and then it'll get chronic wasting disease, and then it'll rot away, and it's spitting out this stuff, and then other deer eating.
God.
Dude, it's horrific, and it's 100% fatal. So think about what we've got that your immune system, for the vast majority of the people, is going to fight off. It's tragic, the people that don't. Not diminishing that at all. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a giant difference between something that Idris Elba gets and shows no weaknesses, shows no symptoms, rather, or Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson get it and they get over it. It's rough, but they get over it and they survive, versus prions that kill 100% of all the deer that they infect. They're all dead, and they waste away. They waste away to nothing. It's ugly.
Wow.
And they're like, look, this guy was sounding the warning bell. He was like, look, these have made the jump to mice. And prions have made the jump from animals to people. This is totally possible. This can happen.
Yeah.
And it's like right now, it's like this like silent thing that they're just keeping an eye on, and it's spreading across the country, and people don't know. Like there's places where people have stopped eating deer meat. And there's checkpoints. We have to bring the deer in, like Wisconsin, where my friend Doug lives, where they bring the deer in. They have to test them before you can eat this
For
deer.
chronic
you have to
wasting disease.
Test it for CWD. Yeah. And the thing is, it hasn't made the jump to people. But who's going to take that risk?
Yeah, right.
You going to eat this deer sausage that came from a deer that has CWD, but it's never made the jump to people? So have the sausage. You're like, what? I'm not eating that. The thing definitely had it. It was definitely positive, because a lot of times they're positive for like a year. So they're running around like looking like a regular deer, and you shoot it and you cook it and eat it, and you're eating the prions.
Yeah.
They just don't affect your brain yet. About 7,000 to 15,000 animals infected with CWD are eaten each year. And that number could rise by 20% annually, according to the Alliance for Public Wildlife, which Osterholm cited in his testimony. Scientists can't say for sure that CWD will cross over and infect humans, but as time goes on and more infected meat is consumed, the likelihood increases, Osterholm said. It's like a throw at the genetic roulette table, he said. Fuck that. Yeah. What if that gets into the cows? What if that gets into your cheeseburger? This is maybe what the whole vegan movement's about. Maybe they're trying to protect us from an ultimate attack. What if that's the only people that survive?
Can you imagine
It's
how
only the
annoying the
vegans.
earth will become? Everybody will be thin and
I know.
Woke.
Super self-righteous. All the guys would have to have man buns. You have to.
yeah, meat eaters would like get a Velcro man bun and put it on just to get through security.
Yeah, you got to. You couldn't eat meat anymore. Everybody was dying of chronic wasting disease.
Yeah.
Imagine, man. Again, these are possible.